Brigadier General Amir Avivi, the Israel Defense and Security Forum chairman and founder. General, very good to have you. You heard what Donald Trump was saying about Kamala Harris's remarks to Benjamin Netanyahu that they were not nice. And Benjamin Netanyahu has characterized what she said after that meeting that he had with her as not being the same as what was said in that meeting with her. Don't know who's right and what's right, but I did want to get your thoughts.
Well, I think that definitely looking at what's going on inside Gaza, the Israeli Defense Forces are fighting fiercely, but according to international law, Israeli forces are trying to minimize casualties on the civilian side. There is no hunger inside Gaza. There is no crisis inside Gaza. Yes, it's a war. In a war, it's always complicated and difficult. But this is a war Israel must win decisively. This is really a crucial issue for Israel. It's existential. We cannot afford not destroying Hamas, and Israel is going to do that. It's going to continue and fight until we reach the point Hamas will be destroyed.
Okay, so just to understand, sir, perhaps my question wasn't clear, that Kamala Harris said some things that Benjamin Netanyahu said she didn't raise in their one-on-one. Now, the different interpretations, I understand, but the clear impression that many got looking at this meeting is that Israel, which has had a problematic relationship with Joe Biden, despite his strong support of Israel in the war against Hamas, might have an even more problematic one with Kamala Harris, should she become president. Do you agree with that?
Well, it might happen. I mean, we need to be really clear who are the good guys and who are the bad guys. And we are the good guys. And the bad guys are Hamas, the bad guys are Iran. And we need to be very, very clear. We need a strong America. We need leadership. We need willingness to fight, because Iran is moving towards nuclear weapons. The whole Middle East is completely destabilized. And if we don't send a strong message, a clear message of leadership, we might find ourselves on the verge of a third world war. China is watching, Russia is watching, and everybody is looking what will be the policy of the next administration. And we definitely need a strong leader that will stabilize the whole globe and the region. And we cannot have a policy of appeasement with our enemies, especially not Iran and Hamas.
So, General, Donald Trump himself, who says he's been the strongest and best president for Israel, I don't know how you feel about that, but he has also said the problem with Israel right now is that you got to wrap this up fast. I'm sure that has been your goal since this war started last October. But that you're losing the PR war. I'm paraphrasing him. How do you feel about that and the pressure he would have if he becomes president again to get you to wrap this up?
Well, President Trump has done amazing things for Israel. He recognized the Golan Heights. He moved the embassy to Jerusalem. He brought us 4 peace agreements, and we remember that, and we appreciate it a lot. But former President Trump has to understand this is a long war. We cannot wrap it up. It will take years to dismantle this terrible terror organization. I can say that in 2002, when we launched Operation Defensive Shield in the area of Judea and Samaria, it took us a month and a half to take initial control of the cities. It took us 5 years, to stabilize the situation. 5 years. So this is a fierce fight. It's a complex war. You cannot wrap it up. We need to destroy Hamas. It will take a very long time. And we have to remember that we have Hezbollah on the north. We have 80,000 people displaced. We'll have to deal also with Hezbollah. And the main thing we need to do from the U.S., and this is what basically Netanyahu said, we need support and we need munitions to sustain this war and win it decisively. And it's not only for Israel. This is a war that needs to be won for the whole Western civilization, including the U.S.
All right. Well, I don't think Donald Trump is ready for years, but we'll see how that all sorts out. But, General, thank you very much. An honor having you. Thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.